Alright, so today's video will be about breaking, let's say, addictions and bad habits at the age of 16 or younger or a little older, but in the teen years, the kid years. I want to talk about this because recently it came up for me because, I felt it because I just moved, right? So not all my stuff that I had for my schedule is exactly available, right? So my schedule's freed up. Now I got time to think, time to kind of wander, and it brings me back to that feeling of when I'd use things like games and social media and TV to stimulate myself and ignore the senses of lack of purpose and such, which is probably what you have. And if not, you have, well, maybe an addiction, but that's kind of another topic. I'm just going to tell you how to break it. I'm not going to discuss exactly how it works. Anyway, let me start off by saying for kids and teens per se, it's a lot more difficult because we don't have the same schedule as adults. I guess you'd say the same knowledge either, because we have to kind of learn this stuff as we go, right? Whether it's on your own or from a mentor, father figure, whatever it is, you have to learn this stuff because it doesn't exactly, you're not born with it, right? And so when you encounter a situation like this, you don't know what that feeling is. What I found is that like when that was a thing for me, I didn't know what that feeling was, and it took me 2 years to kind of fully uncover. It took a lot of different searching between hobbies and potential jobs, crafts, knowledge, sciences, business, all that stuff. Like, I only got here now due to a lot of searching and going through a bunch of different stuff that I could potentially do. But yeah, it's because the feeling and the responsibilities that we have are unknown and different than that of someone who's older and wiser. So I want to give you a bit of a boost with that because I would have loved the boost. I would have loved it a lot. But yeah, regardless, I wouldn't be able to give you that boost if I didn't suffer a little bit. So I don't regret that at all. I don't consider it suffering. I consider it a gift, more to say. So yeah, let's dive into that. So in that aspect, I think that for some people they have a bit of a loose schedule, right? I can't speak for everyone. I can't speak for you. I can only speak for myself. But let's say an example guy, you work, or no, you go to school for about 7 hours a day, and maybe that's all you really have to do. That's all. Like, you have to wash up and before and after school. You have to eat. Yeah, like that's about 8 9 hours of the day, right? Let's assume you get 8 hours of sleep, and you basically have a third of the day left, right? That's a good chunk of time. And yet, you know, the average guy, or well, no, the average teen and kid doesn't really know what to do with that. It's a lot of time in a day, right? That's enough time for you to start up a bunch of different stuff, but you don't really know what to start, right? And that's natural. That's completely natural. So, because with 7 hours ish left, then you can do a lot of stuff. So let me explain. Um, in in that schedule, you might think that there's really nothing. There's nothing that you know of, right? There's nothing that you know of that you can do, whether that's a hobby or maybe a side hustle. You don't know these things. It took me a while to list them off, right? Like, I went from 3D printing and metalworks, woodworks, and then I would consider turning those into side hustles and still do a little bit, just a little, because I might be able to. But yeah, you don't know about that stuff, and it took me a while, and it will take you a while to discover those 3, and many more just naturally, organically, all right, without many people telling you, because I didn't have many people telling me, because not everyone had that same thing instilled in them as I did, and as you might. So no one really had the answers to my questions. They kind of just told me to chill. In that scenario, though, I don't want you to chill. Let me introduce you to something. This is my kidnapping box thing that I found when I moved in here. I moved in here about 2 weeks ago, right? So this is my weird box. I'm going to use this for thoughts and meditations because it's boring. Now let me tell you about that. One of the best things you can do is think. It's just think in a boring place. Maybe meditate. Meditating is better because if you do, it's just, it's just better. I'm not listing that, but it's just better. I'll talk about that in a later thing. But yeah, for us, the best thing we can do is either think or go out and find stuff, right? Now, that doesn't mean I suggest you go out partying all the time, but let me give you an example. A couple weeks back, I got invited to a GameCon, and that reminded me that I wanted to really start up with cosplay, right? So, yeah, that's all that happened. I didn't go to a bunch of parties and a bunch of GameCons. I just went to one GameCon, and it just reminded me. It gave me the idea, and then I continued on that for a couple days, and now today, and all these other days, but today I'm still working on my stuff, researching, doing. It just took one little reminder, right? So you can go to your GameCon and you can get reminded of your cosplay wishes, and then you can do what I do, or you could just do that elsewhere. It doesn't matter. It could be even a skate park. And then you're like, oh, I want a skateboard. Go buy a skateboard. Learn. Go to the skate park. You just filled up your day with something to do. That isn't video games. That's fun. That's useful. That's exercise. So it's as easy as that. But the thing is that I discovered that as a kid, you don't really think about it like that. You don't think like I should just think. You think I have to do something. Or at least that's how I thought. This is how I think. This might not be how you think, but how I thought was I had to do something. Because I didn't want to waste my time. I thought wasting my time thinking in a boring box area was going to be bad, right? But it wasn't. Because it took my long ass journey of like 2 years of kind of thinking about stuff and bouncing back and forth. It took that journey 2 years. Because I'd stimulate with things like media and TV, games, and so on and so forth. So that's the thing about habits like that, is that you can't exactly let them take you through that journey. You have to put them down, maybe just for an hour a day, because I know some people might have a harder time with that. So put it down for as long as you can, 30 minutes, an hour, all day. Think. And your journey will be far shorter. For me, I didn't do that. I just played my games and thought at the same time, because games feel accomplishing, right? You know that. Games feel accomplishing, and so you play them thinking you're a hero who's doing things, and then when you get off of them, you start to let it all set in, which is why it takes you longer. Because if you don't feel like you're accomplishing anything, it will force your mind to think. If you don't stimulate, it'll force your mind to think. So sit in that boring box for as long as you can. I don't know your situation, just do it as long as you can, because that's admirable as it is, and do it daily, and it will come to you. And when it does, perfect. And go out safely. Like don't go to a bunch of like bad places and such. Go to good places. Hang out with your friends. Go to the skate park. Go to the game cons. Go to the festivals, the local holiday festival, whatever it is, and it'll bring something up. And chase it. Trust me, that'll work. It will work so good. But still, you can do one or the other or both. Because of our age, we might be limited, but that's still okay. So I'm gonna give you this knowledge because it's something that I would have taken. I wouldn't take it, like, if I couldn't tell you the lesson, but I could go back and change that, I still wouldn't. I wouldn't change it because I would love to tell this lesson because this is a valuable lesson. I could spare years of your life with this lesson. Took 2 years ish of mine, but I don't regret it at all. I spoke about that in the last thing. Don't regret these things because we're all human and it takes time. So let it happen. Yeah, let it happen and accept it. It's your process. It's not mine. It's not the next guy's. It's yours. So when you tell it, it's going to be special. Because what would happen if we all had the same story of I went on this journey for this long and it's all the same, like we all went on that 2 month journey with the same results? No one would want that. You want to hear what I have because I did something different than you, who did it different than everyone else. And that's the importance of these journeys per se. So either way, don't regret that at all if you do it currently or did it before or are about to do it and dived in a little. Just don't regret it. I know I did for a time, but I don't now. So don't regret it at all. And yeah, so getting back to that, getting back to breaking habits, you can't, as I said, you can't fully break them unless you replace them. At least I think I said that. I don't remember. It's been 12 minutes, but yeah, you can't just stop. You have to replace it. You have to replace your schedule because you have that much. You have like 7 hours left in the day. You can do anything, right? And you have to fill that time. You have to fill it good. You might even have more. I'm homeschooled, and I won't tell you the details of it, but I say I'll have a lot of time. I have a lot of time on my hands. So for me, it's really hard because you have to fill the day up pretty packed, right? And I've done it pretty successfully, but for the most part, there are still days where I could do something else, but then I end up scrolling on social media because I've done everything else. I have like five, let's say I have 5 main goals, 5 main tasks. Might be homework, practicing an instrument, learning a language, and yeah, 2 other things. Doesn't matter. 5 tasks. They all take 5 hours in total. I'm still left with 2 hours in the day if I went to school, right? Because I have 7 spare hours. So now I have 2 hours to procrastinate and not do something, and then I find myself on games or social media and such, and that might be your position. It isn't exactly mine, but it will probably be yours if you don't pack it as best you can. So, just you can't stop. Just pack your day. Pack your day with a bunch of different stuff. Search for that stuff, learn about that stuff, add it to your day, pack your day. It's a simple process. It'll take you a while. Don't think you're wasting time because you're not. Just do it. Let it happen. Yeah. So for breaking any bad habit, I really recommend it. It's like a combination of that and a few other things, but it's like 90% this. I'm telling you, like, for me in personal experience, whether it's games or nofap or whatever, it always comes down to, what's my day? What's my day? Is it packed? Is it purposeful? Because if you have a bunch of spare time, then you start to just do nothing important. So, you know, pack pack that day. Simple as that. Pack your fucking day. And it will work. And on the days that you don't pack your day, you'll feel, notice the difference that you're less because it's not as packed. You'll feel it and you'll know it. Happened to me today because of all my stuff. It's not fully set up because of the move. And I feel it. I'm back on social media for way more than I want to be. And yeah, it's just like my day isn't as packed. I don't have enough time to not be on social media, I guess you could say. So it's a weird saying, but yeah, pack that day. And purpose is annoying to find. You're gonna go through like, I could tell you this and I could spare you some time, but you could still easily go on a 2 year journey like I did. You're young. I don't know how young you are, or well, no, I don't know who you are. I don't know how old you are, but to the young people, you're young. I don't know how young you are. I'm 16. Been doing this since 13, 14 ish, and that's 2, 3 year journey, right? So, you know, take my advice, but don't expect it to save you, right? And don't even consider it as saving, right? This is a journey that you should be willing to go through regardless of whatever will happen. So let it happen. And I want to say that might be all our key points. How you break a habit, you pack your day. A bad habit and maybe addiction, you just pack your day. And I told you how to pack your day. Yep, I think I covered everything. I should probably get a notepad now that I'm thinking about it. A notepad to say here's the key points, so I don't have to do a recap like this. And I also want to do a quick update. I think I might switch over to a video a day because for this exact same reason, my day doesn't feel as packed, and I feel like this was not as time demanding as it needs to be, or as I thought it would be. I mean, and I could do a video a day pretty easily. So I think I'm gonna try that out soon, and I'm gonna get like a notebook, all that stuff. I'm gonna be bit more proper, but yeah, I'm gonna pack my day even more. I'm gonna try and make these videos way more, or well, professional in a sense, I guess. They're never really gonna be fully professional, but I want to make sure that I don't ramble. So I'm gonna highlight the key points. Probably in the next one, I'm gonna write them down on paper. Here's my 3 main points. I'm gonna go over them, and yeah. So let me know if if it's if it's good or not, or like just give me advice, feedback, whatever it is. Could be that, could be something else. Just give me some feedback on whatever it is, and thank you. And yep, I think that's all that I have. So I hope this helps you a lot. If you have any questions as well, just ask. And I'll see you guys later.